I would like to now introduce Deb Miles, who's our Director of Student Services, who, by the way, is responsible for this incredible event and an opportunity to get a glimpse into what we do here in Fairport to take the theory that Dr. Wallace just shared. And she's going to talk a little bit about how it's practical here in Fairport. And again, Deb Miles is a great leader of this work, and if it wasn't for her leadership, this evening wouldn't be able to come to fruition. So thank you, Deb Miles.
Okay, thank you. It's so nice to see so many of you have come out tonight for this. Lots of heavy stuff, lots of serious stuff, but rest assured we're doing a lot of great things in Fairport to help students and to make their experience at school a positive experience as best we can. So, and then two, I always say to my colleagues, and I always have to remind myself of this all the time as we are so deep in this work, is really the majority of our kids are doing really very well, and they're doing great work academically and socially in Fairport. So, but at the same point in time, we want to be there to support those kids that do have struggles and those families as well, because it's not always just the student independently by themselves, but a lot of things that they bring to school with them, we're left to kind of help them sort out throughout their day. So as I go along, I just want to kind of share with you what we're doing here in Fairport. We're going to talk a little bit about safety, a little bit about security, but really, truly, mostly about the mental health work that we're doing and the programs and things that we have to offer them. So we can talk about security, and we can talk about putting things in place to help protect our kids and to keep our buildings safe. But what it really comes down to is prevention, and that's really truly the best measure for providing safety to our students. That's knowing our students and understanding what's going on inside our buildings as much as outside of our buildings. As Dr. Wallace clearly stated in so many ways, building relationships with our students is critical to the work that we do. When they feel connected to adults and we know them, then we are able to anticipate the things that might come. So we encourage you to talk to your students and children as well, to ask lots of questions. It's funny how quickly, as a parent, no matter how young they are, you get those I don't knows, or nothing happened today, or we didn't do anything in school today. So you just kind of have to keep probing and prompting and asking those questions and encouraging them to talk to you. Because lots of things happen throughout the course of their school day, and they certainly have plenty of things to share with you. Setting limits with your children is also equally important, and I know Dr. Wallace talked a little bit about that and how you go about doing that and explaining it and not being so authoritative with it. But it is important to set limits. We all have different perspectives out there and different parenting styles, and we're so quickly compared to each other when our children want to do something. So it's just remembering what works best for your family and what your values and beliefs are, and kind of staying strong for them. If you know what's best and what's going to, make for a healthy child in your household, then that's what's important. Equally, intervention is important, and that's the work that we do here in school to help support your children, our students who struggle either academically, socially, or behaviorally. You may have children coming home to you talking about some of our little kiddos or that are having some outbursts, and rest assured that we have lots of supports wrapped around those students and helping to get them to adjust to school and to figure out some better ways to cope with their frustrations. We provide support to these students and also to families, and we're going to talk a little bit later about how we do that and how it can benefit everyone as a whole. So security. So it's early fall, Halloween just passed. Lots of you probably visited our buildings, this year already. And so there are a few things that the Fairport School District has put into place in the past couple of years, and that is our single point of entrance in 7 out of 8 of our buildings, with the last building coming up this summer, getting some construction work done so we can make our high school a single point of entrance as well. That really just means the buildings are locked down around all entrances, with the exception of one entrance in which you enter and check in. We now have a new buzzer system in our district, which when you approach a building, you've probably learned you need to press the button, call into the main office, identify yourself, explain why you're there to visit or who you're there to visit. And then as you enter the building, you're greeted nicely by a secretary who then asks for your driver's license, and we run that through what's called our Raptor system. And so that's moving across our district and all of our buildings as well. And those are great measures to really just help provide the best safety we can, security-wise, to our buildings and students. But again, going back to understanding who our kids are and what's going on with them is really the most important piece to this work. So with that said, the programs that we provide for our students are critical in doing this work. And certainly I have to say, while I may champion a lot of these efforts, I could never do this work without the assistance of the building administrators, the principals and assistant principals that do so much to roll this stuff out in our buildings. And our teachers are so excited about some of these programs and some of the work that's come forward, and it's really become quite contagious. So that's exciting to kind of see everybody, whether it's a paraprofessional, whether it's a teacher, an administrator, a school nurse, our mental health staff, anybody and everybody is getting involved to kind of help get these programs up and going and support our kids. So the first thing that we're so proud of and so thankful for Brett's support as the superintendent and our Board of Education is our collaboration with Strong Behavioral Health. We are the only district in New York State who has this level of support where we have a two-pronged approach of having Strong Behavioral Health in our district collaborating with us several times a week, supporting us on specific cases with parent permission, and observing students and dialoguing about how to best approach, or intervene with some of the behaviors. But additionally, we have here in this building, Minerva Land, our office, we actually have an approved satellite clinic from the Office of Mental Health, where Strong Behavioral Health has doctoral level psychologists who support our students and families and provide therapy to those who are interested. So it makes it an efficient way to access that level of support without families having to drive, into the city or to Science Park for their clinic there, and gets a little bit quicker access to for our Fairport families, which is quite nice. So that's been going great. We're in our second year of that program, and we have serviced well over 60 different students and families through that. We also rolled out this year our PBIS, full rollout in our elementary buildings with positive behavior interventions and supports. This is an evidence-based program that really is a prevention program that explicitly teaches students, kids, how to be respectful, safe, and responsible, and talks about the behavior within the halls, within the school building, the cafeterias, on the school bus, and the carryover language that occurs between all of that. When people start using that consistent language from classroom to classroom and throughout the entire district, that has proven to decrease discipline issues, behavioral issues, and makes for a very safe, warm environment for kids. So we're excited about that. That is rolling up to the middle school with some training this year and a rollout next year, and we'll continue to move it up the K-12 spectrum as we go along. Deb spoke nicely about our character and assets program, so I don't need to continue to talk about that. Our mindfulness program is rolling out quite nicely, initiative, and you might be hearing about that at home. This is really just helping students to become really aware of themselves, their emotions, and kind of being in the moment and recognizing how they're feeling and how their body reacts and responds to different situations. So as you visit classes or as your son or daughter comes home, they might be talking about doing whole body movement in between activities in the classroom. They might be talking about doing some breathing techniques or some other different focusing things where they transition from one activity to the next, but they have a little moment in between to help kind of get them in the right place. And that's just a great lifelong skill that we're teaching them in terms of how to cope with different stressors that they might experience and how to re-regulate their body and get into a better place. So we're continuing that work, K-12. All of our students have access to our mental health staff, our counselors for their individual or group counseling, lunch bunches. And then we also have our primary mental health project, which is a K-3 program and is child-led play with a trained associate. For kids who might be really shy or might be having a little difficulty with some social skills or connecting with peers, it just helps to teach them through play how to develop those skills. So we're fortunate at Fairport to have so many different mental health staff and supports for your children. We have 12 psychologists across the district, 2 behavioral specialists, 9 social workers, 1 substance abuse prevention social worker, 15 school counselors, and we now have one of our psychologists splits her position as also an equity and access liaison, serving our Title I students and families. And then professional development is being provided across the district over the past couple of years and ongoing with the support of Strong Behavioral Health, but also doing a lot of turnkey trainings in our district in regards to emotional regulation, crisis intervention, our mental health first aid, and trauma-informed schools. We're interested in offering more of these parent seminars, so this was a nice kickoff to this. We also want you to be aware that Mental Health First Aid, which is a course provided to teach adults or parents about adolescent development and mental health disorders, that is actually being offered through Parent and Rec Center. You can sign up for that for free because of a grant that we have through Delphi, Drug and Alcohol Council. And then in January, on your way out, you're going to get a save the date because we have a Fairport family who would like to share their story of addiction, loss, and lessons learned through that whole experience. So that'll be a great opportunity to come out and hear about that. And then as you're writing on these index cards or with any questions you might have, certainly give us some thoughts about whether there's a spring parent seminar that you would be interested in having on any particular topic. In terms of resources, we have a wealth of resources available to students and families that you can access through our website, through our mental health staff, and in the community. We certainly ask you to visit the tables in the lobby on the way out again because there's lots of materials out there that you may not have had a chance to gather on the way in. And then we do have our Student Services website up and running with lots of different information and resources and educational materials on there as well. You can find that at fairport.org. So again, we thank you so much. I don't want to delay us getting to the panel and having questions and answers. So as you have those index cards, take a minute to write down any questions you may have. And then Mr. Provenzano will be introducing our panel and we'll get started with that. All right, thank you.